Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we embrace the summer with boundless enthusiasm and an umbrella tucked away in our purse, where we exchange headlines from our city, state, and country with information that you bring to the table as far as. Oh my goodness, I forgot to set up my graphic for 4th of July. Hold on just a second. That is not very nice. Hold on. Can I do this live? I think I can. Hold on. I can do this. I can do this because today is 4th of July and we recently celebrated Canada Day. Hold on. I got this. I've got this. I've got this. Just watch me. July 4. Where did I put it? Here it is. Boom. There you go. Happy 4th of July. Anyhow, today is that day in which we exchange headlines for comments and this, that, and the other, and we connect with each other as a community of English-speaking locals. It's always a pleasure to see you here. It's always a pleasure to read what you're up to, and it's always a pleasure to read your good mornings. Today, we have news to share, important news. See, I got all distracted because I forgot to do something important. And now I am back to my usual self. Let's see, can we do this? Yes. There you go, much better. If you are new to the live broadcast, please let us know by writing the word new. And we'll give you a nice little welcome. If you would like to share something truly important with everyone and you don't want us to miss it, please add a capital letter Q to your comment like Claude did here. Yesterday, this was a discussion regarding cutting of trees. What if someone destroys nature by pushing vehicle-sized boulders into a feeder river of the Quale? That's a really good question, and that is a great question for Semarnat, which is the National Environmental and Natural Resources Secretary. I am sure there's got to be a problem with that. But ultimately, one needs to fill out a report for Semarnat. I believe we announced a number for them the other day, 800 Semarnat. And we will be talking about illegal disposal of trees in a second once we get into the comments and the news and whatnot. But anyhow, let us get started with the news because we have a bunch of fun things to share today. Here's Angelica asks questions. Are you aware of the news in Vallarta Independiente? They cut 2 big trees and let a lot of birds without a home. Well, this may be related to what I'm going to talk about today and what we talked about yesterday. We'll get to that in a second. So let's get started with fun news. The Ruta Mushi Bus Museum, presently installed at the Plaza Hidalgo in Cinco de Diciembre, has updated their exhibition with a collection of 52 archaeological pieces found in the municipality of Puerto Vallarta. The itinerant bus museum opened last month with an exhibition of items related to Puerto Vallarta's recent anniversary celebration. Access to the museum is 20 pesos per person, 10 pesos for students and seniors. I didn't get a chance to see last month's exhibit, but I know that some people love the exhibition. So if you get a chance to check it out, it's right there waiting for you to enjoy. And just when you thought you had enough things to worry about, there is now an alert of fake Coca-Cola being sold in Pitillal. I have been reading about these fake Coca-Cola sightings elsewhere in Mexico in the last couple of weeks, but this is the first time I've seen it reported locally. According to the reports, these fake bottles contain excessive gas and a flavor that is slightly different than the original, producing nausea and sweating. That sounds absolutely yucky. And if anyone is invested in the environmental well-being of our city, and I'm sure there's many of us in that category, it is comforting to know that at least one city council member here in Puerto Vallarta is interested in the protection of the Quapinoli Lagoon, and that would be Francisco Sanchez Gaeta from the Partido Verde or Green Party. He has introduced a proposal to catalog the Quapinoli Lagoon, the natural space, as protected at municipal level in order to later on be able to extend that protection to state and federal levels. We can keep our fingers crossed for that one. And speaking of nature, let me show you this palm tree, but this is no ordinary palm tree. This is Atalea cojune, commonly known as the Kahuna Palm or Palma de Coquito in Spanish. It is a species of palm tree native to Mexico and parts of Central America. The Kahuna palm is used in the production of Kahuna oil, believed to have been used by cultures in Mesoamerica since the pre-Columbian era, in particular by the Maya, who used the oil as a lubricant for cooking, soap making, and lamp oil. I show you this palm tree because it is a protected species and it is under severe danger of extinction. And I show it to you today for a specific reason. Yesterday, we reported, indeed, on the Comisión Federal de Electricidad, the electrical company, just cutting down trees within their property. And as it turns out, things could get really ugly for them because they happened to chop down one of these palm trees, which was located within the property. Now, I don't know all the details about the palm tree, the oil palm tree or the coquito palm tree, but I understand that in the early years of Puerto Vallarta, there were still a lot of species of these beautiful palm tree, and it was cultivated and the oil was extracted industrially, but something happened along the way that the trees started diminishing in population, and now it is a highly protected species. Now let's move on to I want to show you a map. See, this is a map of Puerto Vallarta and of course Jalisco, and there's the airport right over there. And if you're going from Puerto Vallarta to Nayarit, of course you take the 200 highway, and that is no big whoop. However, if you're anywhere up inland, like somewhere around here where there's quite a population, and you want to cross over to Nayarit, the only way to do it is through what is known as Paso del Guayabo. Chances are that you've never seen it, and it's unlikely that you will unless you happen to be in that general neck of the woods. And Paso del Guayabo is a makeshift crossing that goes over the Ameca River, and it allows vehicles of all kinds to take a shortcut and be able to enter Nayarit quickly without having to get all the way down to the highway and go up through the highway. Why are we talking about this today? Well, because the road is now closed due to the rain season and won't be expected to be rebuilt again until December 6th. Again, this is one of those makeshift projects that the government and local residents put together. Every year it goes down because of the river current. Every year it gets propped up again. And it is yet another one of those reasons why the Federación Bridge project, which is currently in a coma, could strongly benefit the population. Now, we have, when it comes down to hurricanes for this season, we have 2 down and between 16 and 22 to go. And if you think it's still time for you and I to suggest names for the remaining hurricanes, we are late for the party because the hurricanes have been named. These are the names of the remaining hurricanes or tropical storms that could hit our neighborhood. And I put them up here just in case you happen to see a name that caught your attention, or if you have any kind of estimation or hunch based on the names as to which one might be the bad one or which would be the bad ones. Needless to say, we're not shading any name. If there are any Shinas or any Pilars or any Selmas in the audience and somebody happens to think that Selma will be the hurricane to knock us down, well, please don't take it personally. We're just being silly about it. Personally, if you ask me, York sounds like a name of a hurricane that might be a little bit on the deadly side. But you know me, I'm just being silly about this, not really taking things seriously, at least not yet. At present time, there are no new hurricane warnings of any kind. At least there are no new tropical formations that I've read of. But let's take a quick look at the weather forecast just to see what's going on out there for today. And Snarky Weather says, oh, ouch. How many people will pay to watch Indiana Jones wander around a retirement community telling the residents they belong in a museum? Wow, that's pretty snarky, I suppose. Are you going to see the movie? I don't know that I'm going to go watch the movie yet, or I don't know if I'm going to go watch it in the theater. I'm intrigued about it, but what I'm more intrigued about right now is the weather. 28 degrees. Feels like 33. Humidity is high at 81. Our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 83. And presently, we are looking at this forecast. Mostly cloudy skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon. A chance of rain of 43%, a high of 32, and a low of 24. Tomorrow, Wednesday, mostly clear skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon. A high of 32, a low of 25, and a higher chance of rain at 58%. And then Thursday, Thursday things will get interesting. Mostly clear skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 86%, a high of 32, and a low of 23. And now a low of 26. What am I talking about? High of 32, low of 26. Moving right along, I have a couple of other headlines that I wish to share with you, starting with this one, which was published for no specific reason. Usually whenever people write about Night of the Iguana and that sort of thing, it has to do with anniversaries. But for no apparent reason, Tribuna de la Bahía has chosen to publish a historical perspective on the film that John Huston produced here in Puerto Vallarta in 1963, when our city barely had 15,000 inhabitants. So if you are curious about this story, this might be an article that you may be interested in reading. I'm also happy to see that our friend Joshua is getting busy. Joshua, also known as Yoxolotl, is our resident tie-dye god, and he is going to teach how to make your own tie-dye garments this coming July 18 at Captain Don's. I will share the information with you in the show notes so that you can check it out in case you want to make your own tie-dye shirts or other garments. I also forgot to mention yesterday that we have published the event for our next summer meet and greet, which will take place on August 1st, Tuesday, August 1st, from 6 to 8 at our usual hangout, which is, of course, Whiskey Kitchen. It'll be a lot of fun to get together, embrace the humidity and the heat and possibly the rain with one another. So hopefully, for those of you that are out of town, hopefully you'll have something scheduled to be here during that particular week. If not, we will be thinking about you. And of course, for the rest of us that live here year round, it'll be such a fun time to connect the faces with the names that we see commenting on the broadcast on a regular basis. And last but certainly not least, if you are a jazz music enthusiast, you may want to write down this date because something really exciting is coming to Guadalajara on the 8th of November. None other than Diana Krall is going to perform a concert at Teatro Diana. This should be fairly exciting because we don't get names like that frequently coming to our city, or our state rather. So tickets go on sale tomorrow at Ticketmaster. So if you're interested in this, just make sure that you get busy because I'm sure that the tickets will run out fairly quickly for this type of event. And now let's take a look at your comments and your cues and your questions just to see what everybody is up to. Good morning to everyone and good afternoon to, oh my goodness, he's not here. David, where are you? David Dunphy is usually here to wish us good afternoon, but good morning, Mark, Albert, Sly, Patty, Claude, Charles, Angelica, Brian, Karen, Doug, Sherry, Charles. It is great to see you, and happy 4th of July to those of you that celebrate. Lars, it's a pleasure to see you. I hope you enjoyed your house-sitting affair this weekend and look forward to getting together with you sometime soon. My dear co-pilot Michal watching from Canada, I hope you're having a good time. Let's see. Julia says, good morning, Paco. Your graphics for your opening are so very good. I especially love the coffee beans. Who is your graphic genius? The graphic genius is myself. I rely on a couple of web-based companies that produce these little intros and transitions. All you have to do is fill in the name or put in the logo of your company, and bam, you have it. So that's what I usually do. There you go. Let's see. Oh, you're branching out to discuss trees, says Chris. I believe we did this. Yes, we discussed trees. Let's see what else we have. Buenos dias to Todd, one of our community partners. Todd is our friend that has access to more television channels than God, and he is one of our community partners. It's great that you are with us from Bogota, and hopefully you'll be able to join us for the next meet and greet, which we have just announced. Let's see what else we have. 4th of July in San Diego, says Linda. I used to have great 4th of Julys in Boston at the Hatch Shell, which was an outdoor amphitheater. We used to go for concerts with the Boston Pops. And Brian is commenting, we rode our bikes over the earthen bridge last year. That would be the Paso del Guayabo. That sounds like fun. Let's see what else we have. I saw that Diana Krall ad for her concert in Mexico City. Wouldn't that be grand? Well, Michal, I think you're going to be back in town in November. So if you want to go to Guadalajara, let's do it. Let's see. Teatro Diana. Was it the place where they opened it with the movie of Cleopatra? I really don't know, but that's an interesting question, Angelica. Maybe I'll do some Googling just to see if there's an interesting story behind that. And Michal will be here for the meet and greet. That'll be wonderful. Let's see what else. Oh, hello, Jess. Good morning, Paco. I loved hearing your calming voice this morning before I braved the Pacific Beach Boardwalk for a run. Hope to visit soon. You know, Jess, you are always welcome to come back, be with or without Kathy and Den. It's a pleasure to spend time with you whenever you are here in town. And this, my friends, I believe brings us to the end of today's broadcast. As always, it is a pleasure to connect with you and put together all these news items and facts and interesting knowledge to keep you interested and connected with our city. If you ever have any thoughts or suggestions on things that you would like to see covered here, you know where to find me and you know where to go. Have a great Tuesday, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. And if you are celebrating 4th of July, have a great 4th of July.